plant queens, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sab if we've never met before, and this is my channel where I talk about my houseplants, mostly in passive hydroponics. So it is time for another plant haul, and I don't know about you guys, but when I'm feeling a little more stressed than usual or my mental health is whack, I end up buying a few more plants than I should, which is kind of what happened this month. So yeah, this is gonna be a pretty long list, but stick around and you might see something interesting that you would like to add to your own collection. So with that said, let's just get right into the first. Sorry, I'm looking down. This is where my list is. Let's get right into the first one, which is like, I think we should address the elephant in the room. We're all familiar with my crystallinum down here, but she is new. So let me see if I can take her down. This is my Anthurium magnificum. I got it from a really good friend at a really good price. I'm gonna put his Instagram up on the screen, so you should check him out. He has a really good collection. But yeah, look at how massive this leaf is. I've converted it into leca, and I think it's doing really well. The other leaf behind is pretty wonky, but that's okay because we don't see her anyway because she's facing the wall. But the main star is right here in front. Just put her back. Next, I have a sad story actually. I got one of my wishlist plants. It's an Alocasia silver dragon, and I guess I got too overconfident and converted it into leca right away without doing the usual steps like looking it up in my Facebook groups, how easy it is to convert, how difficult it is to convert. And sadly, I learned too late that baby or juvenile alocasia, like jewel alocasias, don't really do well when you convert them into leca, or it's just extra difficult. So we're struggling right now. I'll try to put up a photo of what it looked like when I got it, and I'll take some footage, it's right here, of what it looks like right now. And in fairness to it, it actually looks a lot better than it did a few weeks ago, even though it may not seem like it. But a few weeks ago, all the leaves started falling off, and I thought this one single leaf would fall off as well. So I'm glad it's kind of, it started to curl, so now it's kind of looking a little bit normal. I don't know. It might die, but it's just a lesson for me to don't get overconfident and research your plants before you convert them into leca. Next is a plant I actually got back in December that I wasn't able to show. It was gifted to me by one of my co-workers, which was really sweet of her for Christmas. That's the hilancia serographica, this gorgeous air plant. This was on my wish list, so I'm not that big into air plants, but this one is just beautiful. Look at that, and it's pretty big. So for this one, I've just been soaking it like once a week, but I recently learned from a friend that when doing that, they may actually kind of fall apart because of rot, and that has happened to me with prior air plants. So I think I'm gonna try to go the spray method for this one by just spraying it like twice a week or once a week thoroughly. But yeah, very beautiful, low maintenance plant. Literally just sits there and lives and looks cute. I forgot to mention, all these first ones are like the ones that don't have a specific category, so we'll get into the specific ones later, like philodendrons, Hoyas, stuff like that. Anyway, this next one is also on my wish list, but it's not quite what it's supposed to look like just yet. This is the variegated Piper nigrum, and as you can see, it's not variegated. But I got this from a seller who explained to me that the variegation on these plants tend to come out as you give them more light and if you give them more time. So not sure how true that is, but nonetheless, it is a very beautiful Piper. I paid quite a pretty penny for it, so compared to the non-variegated ones, this type is much more expensive. You know what, I'll just put a photo up of what the variegated Piper nigrum is supposed to look like. And in case you didn't know, this is literally a black pepper plant, which is amazing, right? Like, I saw this in the province and was so shocked to see the leaves. Like, look at how gorgeous that is. That's just stunning. The next plant is a pathophylum. It's called the Sensation, but it's the variegated version. So here you can see some of the old leaves in their variegation. We've got some crispy tips, probably from the stress of converting. And the newer leaves actually are coming out not with a lot of, I don't even know if you can see that. Can you see that? See, there's like a fleck of variegation, and that's it. And this is the newest leaf, and it's not variegated. So that is getting me a bit worried. So I think I'll just give it more light, but if not, I can always just chop it down. And this plant is so thirsty in like I think I just filled this up a few days ago, and it's almost to the bottom of the jar again. So I'll have to top this up. But yes, this is my variegated Sensation, pathophylum Sensation. Okay, so now we get into the philodendrons, and I'm very excited to have gotten one of my wishlist plants, which I will be showing you. So she's right here, and she's so cute. This is my Philodendron Florida Ghost. Look at how cute. Look at how white that new leaf is, and it's coming out with this cute little baby leaf. Look how awesome that is. And I actually got two of these, and they're both from trades, which is great because I told myself I'd be trading more this year. And yeah, I love having them. I won't show you the other one because it's basically like a mature cutting, but I like this one better just because it's so adorable. And the new leaf already has the little lobes that the mature ones would get. I'm so excited for this. Next one is this Philodendron Painted Lady. She is beautiful. I actually got this as a bigger plant, but I just took a bunch of cuttings and gifted the larger plant to my dad, who really wanted it. And here is like, this is why it's called, is it focusing at all? This is why it's called the Painted Lady, because of that dainty, beautiful variegation. And what my favorite leaf is this one, because like the top part looks like it might have reverted, and it just gives it like a very beautiful splash there. A sad story about this plant, my cat actually knocked it over and did this to the new leaf, which is very, very upsetting, but it's okay, it'll grow new leaves eventually. Next is another wish list plant that not a lot of people are into just because of how difficult it is to grow or care for, and that's she's very tiny and she's struggling, so don't judge her. This is my Philodendron rantion that I also got in a trade. Let me try to show you. So so I cut it up and put it in water. This was like a trailing plant, and then I just cut it up so I could have like a fuller plant in a tiny pot of leca, you know. But she is struggling, and I haven't even done anything. I just took cuttings and propagated it. But I'm not sure if I can show you this. There are already like a few tiny white roots there, so I'm pretty sure at least two of these cuttings will make it, you know. But nonetheless, she is very beautiful. I love the silver, you know, markings on her, and I'm so excited to grow her into a full plant. Up next is another wishlist plant. I ticked off a lot of my wishlist plants this month, so I really have to slow down next month. This is a Philodendron Lime Fiddle. Check her out. Now I got this as a one leaf cutting, and I don't see a new growth point yet, but I'm pretty sure it'll come out with one because it's already like developing some water roots. You definitely can't see that, but yeah, I'm just appreciating this one leaf, this gorgeous, beautiful leaf that is starting to yellow actually. So I'm pretty sure this will die in about a month or two. You can see it starting to yellow right there, and you know, once a leaf starts to yellow, that's pretty much it's gone. It's a goner. But that is my Philodendron Lime Fiddle. Next is a plant that was never on my wish list because I never thought I would actually get it, but I'll just show you. Can you believe that I have a Philodendron Varicosum? And I don't know what to say, just look at how beautiful that is. That is just stunning. Just look at the back, the red underside and the furry petiole. I think that is just so beautiful. And it's actually a top cutting that is rooting in water right now. There. So I can see some very tiny water roots, so I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. This was a bigger plant, but I chopped it up and sold the other parts and was left with this very beautiful Philodendron Varicosum. I'm so excited to watch her grow. Last for the philodendrons is definitely a wishlist plant, and I'm so happy I have this. My friend agreed to split it with me so that it's not, it wasn't so expensive when I got it, but it's still pretty pricey, and that is my Philodendron Marks Barigata. And let me just show you a close-up of that leaf. I think those like white marks are probably like pest control from the seller. Here's another leaf, and it's actually coming out with 2 growth points that I can already see are variegated, which is amazing. And I think she's just so beautiful. She's even more like gorgeous in person, which I'm so happy about because this has been on my wish list for so long. Now we move on to the Hoyas, and there's a lot of Hoyas in here. And let's just start with the Hoya Carrii Splash. This is my Hoya Carrii Splash, which has been with a friend of mine actually for quite a while. So thank you so much, Bianca, if you're watching, for plant sitting her. And look at how beautiful those freaking leaves are. That's just insane. I know not everyone is into the Carrii, but they should definitely try this very splashy one because it's just so chunky and cute, and how can you not love this? It's just gorgeous. Next is a Hoya I got in a trade with my friend Rafa, and I know I said I would never try this Hoya again because it's a mealybug magnet and it's just not worth the trouble, but I couldn't say no to the variegated version of it. And if you don't already know what I'm talking about, it's this. This is the Hoya Compacta Barigata, or the Hindu rope Hoya. So it's actually growing here, and my friend already had it in Leka, so I thought, why not? I'll just give it another shot. And it's pretty cute, and there haven't been any mealybugs just yet, so I have high hopes that this will be a plant that won't give me as much headaches as the previous Hindu ropes I had. The next plant I have here is actually a plant I already had before, but I just got like a bigger version and decided to cut it up into cuttings so I could sell them as propagations, because I know a lot of people want this plant and I don't want to price it at an insane amount like other sellers are doing. This is my Hoya Curtisii. This is Curtisii 2.0 because I sold my original one. And not much to say about this plant. Very reliable grower in Leka. Not having any trouble with it really. I have like 10 propagations ready to go sometime this week, or maybe last week. I might have posted it by the time that I upload this video. Next is a Hoya that I got from a friend again. I will put his Instagram up here. And this is a wishlist Hoya. It's a Hoya Pubescens Royal Hawaiian Purple. So I can't show you right now, but when the leaves on this Hoya come out, they come out like a really dark purple color, and the flowers on this are really amazing, but obviously I won't be getting a flower from this anytime soon, so I'm just appreciating the splashiness on this. I did have a Pubescens, the pink silver one, but I sold that because I don't really want duplicates, even though they're not the same, but I don't want duplicates of plants since I have such a small space. So I just want like the best version of the plant that I have, if that makes sense. So for the Hoya Pubescens, it's this one, and for the Hindu rope, it's the variegated one, right? And yeah, this is my Hoya Pubescens Royal Hawaiian Purple. So excited for it to have new growth. Up next is another wishlist Hoya that I should have bought when I saw it before the pandemic, because now they're selling small cuttings for a ridiculous price, but I guess I got mine at a decent price compared to how much other sellers are selling it for. This is my Hoya Kanyaku Maria. I'll put the name on the screen. But this looks like the Enduensis, but different. Forgot what the difference is, but this one is cuter for me if I remember correctly. So look at those dainty, kind of roughly leaves, and it's just so cute. I wanted this for so long, and yeah, I did want like a fuller trailing pot of it, but we'll get there in time. I've already chopped this in half just to have like a full tiny pot, and I'll keep chopping it until I get the trailing effect that I want from it. Up next is another wishlist Hoya. This is Hoya Fitchy. There you go. I'm trying not to spill water on my laptop. Look at those veins. I am definitely trying to sun stress this, but even though it's not sun stressed, I can already appreciate how beautiful these leaves are. I've always thought that this was an overrated Hoya, but when I saw this in person, I was like, I get it. I totally get it. And I'm really happy to have him. Up next is a Hoya that wasn't really on my wish list, but I'll show you why I bought it. This is some type of Finley Sonya. So you can see really big chunky leaves. It looks different from the Finley Sonyas I usually see, but I bought it because look at that really big peduncle over there. Can you see that? Yeah, that's focusing. Okay, that is going to bloom hopefully, because I've never had a Hoya bloom for me, even though I have so many of them. But yes, this is a Hoya Finley Sonya. I'm so excited to have it, but it's really chunky peduncle. So yeah, finally for the Hoya section, this is the last Hoya I got this month, and it's a Hoya Vitilinoides. And at first I really didn't like the way it looked because of how thin it is, but then I realized that it's actually a velvety Hoya. Like, I'm not sure if that's coming off on camera, but this is really soft. It's not as velvety as like a Mycon's, but it's almost like touching a really soft pillow. I can't explain, but because of that, I really like it. Oh my goodness, I forgot one philodendron. Sorry, let me just get it. This is a philodendron I got in a trade, and here she is. It's a Philodendron Splendid. To be honest with you, I was actually planning on getting this and then trading it for something else, but when I saw it in person and saw like it has this sheen, like I'm not sure if that's showing on camera, but it has this gorgeous sheen, like similar to Varicosum, but almost like more matte, and it's so soft. And long story short, I'm not gonna put it up for trade anymore because I love it, and it has this new growth point right there. So I'm very excited to grow this plant. Up next is another plant that was on my wish list. This is a Tradescantia, and she is the Tradescantia Nanook. And wow, this plant, I can't even begin to explain how beautiful this is in person. Like, the leaves are really thick. It's not like the other versions of Tradescantia where the leaves are kind of thin and frail. This one has really thick leaves, and the colors on this are stunning. Like, look at that. How can you not want this plant in your life? And it's such a full pot, even though I split it with a friend of mine. So she just gives me so much joy to look at her, because I mean, look at that. That's just gorgeous. How could you not love this plant? It's so beautiful, and I think it will be a fast grower just like other Tradescantias I own, so I'm really glad to have this plant. And finally, we reached the end of this plant haul with the Syngonium. My god, how many minutes has it been? Has it been half an hour already? But this is my Syngonium Frosted Heart. She is beautiful and she's pretty big. Look at that leaf. This is like the new leaf that unfurled while it was here, and it's pretty banged up because of transpo, probably one of the old leaves. This is the newest, cutest leaf that it put out in my care. And I'm so happy. Look at how beautiful those freaking leaves are. Just wow. This is definitely a stunner, and it grows pretty fast. Plus the aerial roots are really loving, like look at that really fat root just going down that glass. It's a really thirsty plant too, as you can see. It's almost reached the bottom of the glass, so I'll have to refill it. The Syngonium frosted heart, definitely recommend this plant for anyone who loves just elegant leaves. I should make a video on the most elegant leaves that I've ever seen. This would be number one. And that is it for this month's plant haul. Thank you so much for sticking around if you're still watching. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit like and hit the subscribe button because it really does help my channel. I will put another video up here for you to watch if you're just binge watching videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!